the ts431p2 4-bay NAS by Qnap. In the box you get a manual, you get the power cable with a power brick, also a small bag with screws to hold the hard drives in place, and 2 Ethernet cables. For storage I've bought 4 3TB WD-RED hard drives. The red variants are supposed to be optimized for NAS usage. There are 2 types of screws included. The shorter ones are for SSDs. Once your NAS is connected to the internet, you can go to the website of Qnap to configure your NAS. You need a cloud key on the back of the NAS, fill it in the box and the website will connect you to your device. It will ask you to create a Qnap ID which can be linked to your Google account. Now you choose a password for your admin account, you decide if you want an automatic or custom IP address, and set up RAID. After that you should be able to access the NAS in Windows. So after about a month of using the NAS, my conclusion is this. The ts431p2 doesn't have transcoding, which doesn't have to be a problem, but if you want to be able to play all your video files on all your devices, transcoding can help. For example, the PS4 turns out not to play MKV files, and my Sony Bravia TV for some reason has a problem playing certain MP4 files, so that is a problem, more or less. But if you know this, you are prepared. For transferring big files, I eventually ended up improving the whole network at home and installing a gigabit connection. Well, pulling the wire from my computer to the router downstairs to the NAS, because before we used power lines, gigabit power lines nonetheless, but it's just not optimal. And with the gigabit power lines, I ended up having a transfer rate of about maximum 30 megabytes per second, and with the direct connection it was about 115, so yeah, that can really help you. Other than that, I must say the NAS is fairly easy to use, but as well has a lot of options that I not necessarily use. For example, you can have different accounts logging into the NAS, which I have. You can set for every user different privileges, and also every user can have like a home folder. So you can set, for example, that you can view and edit the files in your home folder, but other users can only view your files and not delete them. So that is a good thing. But for some reason my television couldn't find the home folders, even though I've set them to public and viewable and editable by everyone. So I'm not sure, that could have been my television as well. But I ended up making new folders. You can disable the home folders and just create a folder for me, my brother, whatever. And you can set privileges for them, and those folders are now perfectly visible in the television. Other than that, if you, for example, you access your NAS with your television, you are just signing in as a guest account, but you can also set it up like that your television is logged in as your account or as admin account or whatever. So you can do that in the visual interface of the NAS. They also have an integrated app for filing help requests for the customer service. They answer 1 or 2 days, not immediately, but they answer. And the app makes it also a lot easier because you can select the model you have, the software you use. I mean, so they don't have to ask all those things before you really start addressing the problem you want to address. In the end, I think it's kind of cool to have a NAS. It's like you have your own server at home, and it's nice to play movies, videos, whatever from anywhere in the house. You know, it's really cool. You can do that. However, I wished I had transcoding. This is the first time I bought a server, and I definitely know if I'm ever going to do this again, I'm really going to look out for the feature that is transcoding, because now if you want to solve certain compatibility with files in certain media players, you have to either convert your files or really double check you always download the right type of file, or and that is just a lot of extra work you don't really want to do. So yeah, I mean, if you want to buy a NAS, look out for that if you need it or not. And yes, for the rest, I can really recommend you the Qnap